Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Thursday. I hope everyone's had a good week so far. It looks like the markets are kind of, they're doing this rotation thing a little bit. I've been kind of trying to move out of some of the techs, though I did buy Palantir today, believe it or not, on a breakout. I've been trying to move out of some of the techs into some of the other parts of the market. And one of the areas, of course, that I'm kind of liking a lot are the financials. I did move into a position on on Capital One Finance, and it's in one of the better areas right now of the market. They're primarily an automobile financer, but they're doing quite well. They broke out, and interestingly enough, as we speak, it looks as if Apple Apple is as I'm moving into everything else, Apple is providing an opportunity. So, go figure. Yeah, well, it seems like I got stopped out of a number of things. I was stopped out of DocuSign, and I've been stopped out of Nvidia. But Nvidia is going to be having earnings here pretty quick, and that may be a good opportunity as well. I did put up, and I haven't finished it yet. Unfortunately, I did do a spread, a call spread, actually a bull call spread. I normally do the bull put spreads, but I think um, for Nvidia, probably the call spread is better. I'm going to try to getting out there to everybody that's in the Discord room. Hopefully, I'm going to have. I did have a kind of a brief outline of that. We did close the Netflix spread, and it was nice. Basically in it from it was a calendar spread, a calendar call spread, and at least it did about $100 per contract. I had three contracts, so not too bad for 7 days of non-work. Worked pretty good. That one worked pretty good too. So we're going to have some nice. I'm trying to. Right now, the market is a little bit. It's not moving up as fast as it was. That's one of the reasons I'm emphasizing some of these spread trades, because we can get a lot of leverage on some of these moves. So it can be a very good thing. Just we're currently in an uptrend. The market is still in an uptrend. Nasdaq is. Is now moved above is 14,814. So that's good. As long as we're staying, we looks like we bottom, and it looks like we're going to move higher. Probably, probably tomorrow. It's looking that way based on, my analysis of the Nasdaq composite. It does look like we're going to be moving higher. It looks like we kind of, bottomed and we bounced, and so at least, we'll see if we can move above the 15,000 level on the Nasdaq. That would be incredible if that. And of course, this is the Nasdaq Composite. The Dow's off a little bit, just slightly, not a whole lot. It's kind of treading water there. S&P is up, so looking pretty good. These are the two stocks that I basically bought today. This is kind of a not a totally detailed chart, but it kind of gives you an idea. One of the ones, of course, is Capital Financial. COF is the symbol on that one, and primarily in the auto finance business, and they've been doing very well, as you know. The auto dealers have just done really great in the last few months, and there's just not a lot of discounting going on in the automobile area. So one of the areas that is strong, of course, is the automobile dealer groups like Lithia and Carvana, but more importantly, are the auto financiers. They seem to be doing well as well. We did have we did have a we did have sort of a volume spike, a breakout on Palantir. It's up today, and it's moved past the. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. It's past a reversal line, and so I did buy this on the alert. This is a little bit better system. I just bought this just about 30 minutes ago. Well, about an hour ago, I guess. We did have this tremendous earnings, and Palantir had been in a decline. That's why we had this relative strength, this reversal line, and it did move to the upside, and that's always a good place to get it, is when it moves to the upside. Now, this also was a reversal over the 50-day line. I always like to see that. So we'll see. It's a half position. It's not a full position, and it's in the small portfolio. So it's not a whole lot of risk here. But it is a half position, and the volume came in nice. It was a nice volume spike. So we'll see if this is a reversal or if it just poops out. If it does, of course, then we'll be out. We do have a stop loss in here as well, in case we got it a little bit too early. But it does look like Palantir has made a move. And if it moves above about 27.50, that's the intermediate high there. Then I'll probably add another half position. But currently, I'm only in one half position, but I did buy it on this breakout. So that's something you might want to look at. Price is up 11%, and the volume, and this is the key, is up it's a little over 400% on the volume. So seems like some of the money is coming back into this issue. Just we don't know. But you might want to put this on your watch list. The symbol is PLTR. So it's a pretty interesting one. Also wanted to show you the opportunity in Apple. And I've been out of Apple for a while. It's been pulling back, but now it seems like, at least intermediately, it seems like it's making a move higher. It's up about $2.87 today, almost 2%, 1.96%. Volume's down a little bit, so that is a little bit of a concern. I haven't bought back into Apple yet. I'm kind of waiting for a little bit more confirmation on it, but it definitely should be on your watch list, because it seems as if, it's true. There has been a rotation out of tech. So in terms of the weaker tech issues, you got to be careful there, but it seems also like there's more concentration in some of these really big tech names like Microsoft and Apple. So just kind of want to get that on your radar there as well. The stock of the day is Skechers. And of course, I was actually buying this one yesterday. I guess I bought it yesterday, or maybe I bought this on Tuesday, I believe. Skechers. Now, interestingly enough, I was stopped out after about a 10% gain on Nike. I sold that basically today. It's amazing. We did have a pullback on Nike. I got in and we were up about 10% in approximately a little over a month. About 45 days. So a month and a half. I've been in Nike. I'm out of Nike because it pulled back, but Skechers seems to be taking up the slack, and we'll see how this one does. We'll just see how this one does. And it's in a very, very good group. The group for this one, the shoe apparel group, seems to be doing very, very well. It's what they call a 3 weeks tight pattern. That's a very good pattern to buy in if you can, because what will happen is a stock will be 3 weeks tight, and then after that, the weak hands will be washed out, and so they won't be taking those bid prices, and they'll take the ask prices, and it'll move up. So hopefully I'm right on this one. Stock of the day on Skechers, and it's very interesting. Currently, Skechers is above the 53.24 buy point, so it's basically in the buy zone right now. So that's very, very good, and the shares are basically with a 3 week tight pattern, which is a little bit higher. So instead of buying it at the buy point, which I did, the next level that you really should look to buy it is if it moves above about 55.97. So if you were to buy this, if you were to put it in a buy stop limit order with the limit being maybe at 56 and the stop being at 56 and the limit being at 56.10, that might be a good way to get into the stock. So it's definitely broke above the intraday high. So things are looking pretty good for Skechers. It seems like I guess it's back to school time, so they may be doing well. Not a tech stock by any means, but seems to be very popular. They have their brand seems to be doing quite well right now. Just kind of want to show you what I'm in and what I'm not in. I'm in Berkshire Hathaway. I'm down a little bit on that, not a whole lot, about 50 cents or so. In Crane, I bought into Crane basically the beginning of the week. We're up a little bit. We're not a whole lot. We're up about 91 cents. Basically bought it at the 100 level. Basically, this is a swing trade for me. I'm looking to see it move, from about 100, which is where I entered, to about maybe 105, 106. I'm probably going to sell it, but this is a nice little move too. I'm still, believe it or not, in DocuSign. It's up today. I was triggered on three of my four portfolios that have DocuSign, and I still have a little bit of DocuSign. It's up today. about 2.47 cents. So that's looking pretty decent as well. Square's down, but I'm still not out of this. Was kind of just been hanging out there. This is a stock that I really like. It's kind of just not really doing a lot right now. It's STM. What it is it's a Swiss Italian it's a Swiss Italian a chip maker. They primarily make chips for the automobile industry. So this is one you might want to put on your watch list. STM Microelectronics. So it's a very interesting company. The symbol STM on that one. I'm in Under Armour. I'm down 5 cents. Really nothing to report there. One of my real good acquisitions currently, I've ridden this up, about $15 a share so far. Has been Goldman Sachs. It just seems to be moving, but the one concern here is it's very light on the volume today. Snap is down a little bit, just kind of right in there. Trex is a very interesting company. It's up today 1.73. Now, Trex has a very unique product in the building product category, and that is they have plastic wood, and this is a really great product. And I think this product is going to do super over the next few years, and into the future, because if you've ever built a wood deck before, it's kind of you build the deck, and then 3 years later, man, it's all rotted out because it's yellow pine or something like that. Well, they have a plastic product that's made, I think, out of recycled materials, to be honest with you, that makes a tremendous deck, and it basically lasts for 50 years. So interesting company. They have a lot of patents, and the company's doing well. It's called Trex, and they're in the building products area. And again, they make this plastic wood kind of product. It's kind of good. Also, we talked a little bit about Capital One. It's up about $2 today, or about 1.16%. And I think this one is, even though the volume is down, I think that this one has potentially some good to go. This is my second. I have Goldman GS, and then I have Capital One. Goldman is sort of the top of the market, and Capital One is kind of the bottom of the market. But I like them both. And then, of course, Palantir. We said that was breaking out today. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my stocks that I have today. Let's take a look at, I guess, some questions. Get to the questions. And I think it's probably taken from the top. But let me see if I have any questions from TikTok Live. And by the way, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm going to be showing charts and everything. Unfortunately, on TikTok, I could only give you the blue screen. I wish I could run the stocks at behind me, but I can't. But here's what you could do: you could jump on over to Dallas Trading Floor, and the easiest way to do that is to go to my is to go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and you should be able to see it. And the most current one, but www.Dallas Trading Floor, and also you can go to the profile. Just click on the link, go to my profile, click that link, and then scroll all the way down. There's a button that should have this episode live on YouTube. So that's a good way to take a look at all the charts and everything. So without further ado, let's get into some of the charts. Hey, Jim. Hope you're well. Thank you, man. Could you check AVT and MRVL? Interesting. Okay, let's take a look for Betty here. Thank you for that. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reduce that one, and I'm gonna get my charts up here. Hopefully there we go. I'm sizing it a little bit for the screen, but yeah, let's see if they can do. See if I can get those charts up here. And launch them charts. All right. Okay. Oops. All right. And let's bring up many. AVT. I know. Take a look. Interesting. Avnet. Okay. A company I'm very familiar with. Hamilton Avnet is what this company used to be called years ago. It's a distributor, and electronics distributor, and it's sort of in this. Let's pull it up here. If I can pull it up here. There we go. So this is Hamilton Avnet, and let's kind of take a look at some of what we've got going on with Hamilton. Basically, it is sort of in a little bit of a downward trend. Let's go over the weekly chart to see if yeah, we're in a little bit of a downward trend. There is this stage one cup base on it. Sorry, stage two, excuse me, cup. Now, this is a cup without handle. I don't typically like to buy them as much as cup with handles, and there's a lot of reasons for that I can go into, but it would kind of bore the pants off you, I'm sure. But basically, the situation here is that we've reversed and we're going higher. So that's not bad on the weekly chart. That's not necessarily a bad chart pattern to buy on. Now, let's kind of take a look to see if we have a reversal. This would probably be really too early for the reversal line, but basically, I would say that would be the reversal. So what has happened, and this is really interesting, you can see that today it dropped, then it pulled right to this line. This is the reversal line, and then it pulled back up. So it seems to have gotten support there. So basically, I would say that right now on Hamilton, on Avnet, it looks as if it is getting some support. It's in a tight pattern. Not necessarily a bad place to buy it, but there's several kind of things I don't like about it right now. It's got a relatively low relative strength, and I kind of want to look at the checklist too. The checklist it's okay, it's pretty good, but what I don't like about it is I want to find the leader. And right now, the electronic parts area, this is essentially a distributor, low margins. I would be a little bit leery about buying this one just because it's got a 78 checklist. I think we could do better than this. So I would probably just watch list this stock right now. I probably would not be, I would not be a, I just wouldn't be a buyer of this one. It's a distributor primarily. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that I don't think it has as much potential as some other ones. So I probably would only watch list Marvell, Avnet, but let's look at Marvell. Now Marvell's a little bit different. This is a chip maker, so it's really different, a different category. The thing about the chip makers is right now, because of the pressure on Micron, MU, these have been a little bit under pressure. I got stopped out of a position that I had. Now, I have it marked on here. Back in June, I did purchase half a position, right there, and unfortunately, I was stopped out. I was stopped out. I had a pretty top stop loss on it. I was stopped out on this one, and it went down, and then it's bounced up again. So, but it does seem to be trending very nicely on the 21-day line. The question is, would you buy it here? Technically, this is extended because the buy point is basic on a consolidation basis, 55.70, and currently it's at 59. So this is technically extended, but I could see this one being a good buy, and the reason I could is because this area is improving significantly, and it does look like we have some support right here at the 21-day line. So this is probably going to move higher in the next few days. Now, this is about the max. I probably wouldn't want to buy this one if I was going to buy this one. I probably wouldn't buy it beyond tomorrow. And the reason is because we're coming into earnings. Here's the thing about stocks. I typically, when we're in earnings season like this, I like to be extremely careful. And that is, I don't really want to give up any of the gains. So if I bought this one, I would probably only hold it for 14 days, selling it as we come into earnings, even if it moves up, because there is a lot of earnings risk on this one. So I would be cautious on this one, Mehdi. I would be cautious on this one, and I possibly could see buying this. This is a good one, but I would be cautious, and I probably would sell it before earnings. Earnings are going to be basically in 14 days from now on the on the 26th of April. So you probably don't want to hold this one. If you buy this, you probably don't want to hold it through earnings. I wouldn't hold it through earnings. But so it's a tough call. It's a tough call. If you're going to buy it, you want to buy it either today or tomorrow, and then I wouldn't hold it longer than about 2 weeks. That's how I would do it. So as a swing trade, it might work very, very well. And it's a good company. So, all right, thanks, and let's take a look at Jeet's question. Oops, there we go. I'm readjusting the sizing on this because there we go. Okay, it's 150. So that gives us a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so let's take a look at HRI. HRI. And this is Herc Holdings. Herc Holdings. I don't know Herc Holdings. It's in Bonita Springs, Florida. Provides equipment rental. Oh, okay, equipment rental. I do like equipment. I have to admit, I do like equipment rental. The leader, of course, in this is United Rentals. Good business. This is a very good business. It looks like they just came through. Oh, look at that earnings. 528%. So it looks as if they've had some great earnings. They reported some very, very nice earnings here. They were up tremendously. Their sales were up 33%, but their profits, and that's what counts, were up 528% quarter over year. So that is pretty darn good. Look at that cash flow. That is a cash machine. Return on equity. So this is looking very, very good. I want to kind of look at this group because there might be some things in this group that we want to kind of take a look at. Yeah, United Rental is at the top of the list. That's what I expected, because they are sort of the leader in this field. I just want to look at United Rentals, see if there is an opportunity in United Rentals. Here's the thing. Herc Holdings looks good, but United Rentals looks better. Now I know it's more expensive stock, but it's up 9% today. That is incredible. It also had excellent earnings. So this is a really good space. I think this is a space that you could definitely work with. But what I would recommend, and I'm actually going to write it down on my notepad here, is United Rentals right now is in a buy zone, and it's very well set up. This is on a consolidation base, second stage consolidation base. So this is definitely going to go higher, and this is the leader. Herc Holdings is not the leader in the space. United Rentals is. So this is what I would do here. I would probably look to buy United Rentals. I think this is a very good play. I think this is a very good play, at least for now. It's come through earnings, which I like. So we had some great earnings. I wouldn't buy this into earnings, but I would buy it afterwards now. I think this could be a very, very good play in this space. And so United Rentals is one I would, instead of Herc Holdings, I would go with United Rentals. I mean, that's kind of my take on it. Let's look at RXN. Thanks, RXN. And I can take a look. Rexford. Okay. Milwaukee Gears. Okay, so this is really an industrial play too. I don't know this company at all. I'm going to actually go over to the daily chart and see if we could kind of look at this chart. This is extended. I wouldn't buy Rexnord. I just wouldn't. I think your better bet in this is United Rentals. I just think it is based on, based on this. I mean, based on this. It's currently at 60, but it's extended. I just think that, it's probably not a good time for United Rentals, unfortunately. So I'm going to kind of move over here a little bit so I don't continuously look off camera. I'm getting better with this. I'm not perfect, but I definitely am getting a little bit better at my camera stuff. All right, so that's really what I would recommend. I don't recommend either of them. I would look to United Rentals. I think you're going to get a much better deal with that because you want to, here's the thing, you want to be in the leaders, and definitely United, HRI is good, but I think that United Rentals UR is better. All right. Okay. Oh, SCVL. That's his. Um, thank you. Shoe Carnival. And here's the thing. I did have a. I like Shoe Carnival a lot, Paulie. I really do. Everybody knows that I had this. Let me just take off the. Sometimes I have to get. Yeah, there we go. I have to go and get. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of take off. I had some notes on here that I've taken away on the screen, but look at this. Look at this chart. This is a great chart. You know, this area has been really good. Of course, I bought Skechers, which is sold at Shoe Carnival, and this is a very very good pattern. This is essentially, this is acting very very nice. I mean we came up to the high here. We've pulled back. We went through earnings. No, I guess the earnings are in 13 days. This is going to be very nice. I mean, especially if it moves past 39, but right now it's totally viable. This is looking very good. I think it's got an excellent checklist. So this would be a good one to enter. What I like about this is this retail apparel shoes area is just a tremendous one. I'm going to kind of show you sort of who's in there, but you've got Revolve, of course, Boot Barn, Lands End, Lululemon, but Shoe Carnival is right down here with a relative strength of 95. That's great. Only Revolve, Lands End, and Boot Barn are better. So you know what? I think you could buy. It is a little bit of low cheat, what they call low cheat. That's what Mike McAvaney would say. Um, but I think it's viable. I definitely think it's viable. And I'd be careful. Try to put my I try to put my stop loss in at the right level. But I definitely think this one is viable. Shoe Carnival. And again, I've had a spread on it. I did pretty well in the spread. I did close it, and then I did have some of the shares, and I did it before the last earnings on that one. But this is a good stock, and right now it's in a very very good area. So let's take a look at some of the people that are calling in from TikTok. Thank you very much. Somebody wants to look at Moderna. So let's look at Moderna here really quickly. mRNA. Of course, that's the technology that they have. That's the symbol as well. So Moderna. So let's kind of take a look at how Moderna is shaping up here. All right. Here's the thing about Moderna. We ran up. We had this kind of climax top. We've pulled back. Essentially, we're getting support at the 21-day line. But the question is, can you buy it? Well, here's the thing. I just think you got to be a little bit careful right now. The biomedical, biotech, and this is one of the most difficult areas to buy in because there are probably more stock companies in the biotech area than in any other area of the stock market. And so these companies are very binary. Either they make a lot of money, or they're waiting to get approval on something. So it's the kind of thing that makes it difficult to trade these. But look at this. We've had. We're still losing money here, but the sales are way up. Would I buy this thing right now? Well, it looks as if it got support at the 21-day line. I just don't know. This is a little bit tough for me. I probably would pass on this one. I know that everyone has, a lot of people have done great on it, but yeah, this is too frothy for me, really. It really is. It's a little bit too frothy. So I probably would not be a buyer of Moderna. Now I'd watch this one because look at these numbers. Look at this. It's up. The volume is up tremendously. It's up almost 98% is incredible. The price is up almost a little over 1%. So up $6 a share, which is tremendous. But you know what? I just get the feeling with this pattern that I want to see it. I want to see it build a base. So it went way up here. It got all the way up to about the 492 level, and then it pulled back. So right now it's in the process of forming a base. It looks like it's got to get some support at the 21-day line, but that's just so far down. The 21-day line is basically at 360. So that's it's $30 from where it is. So I just think that it's time to. I would watch this one. I would not buy it right now. I just kind of wait on this one, see if we get, a movement above 400. If we get a movement above 400 on Moderna, then I think, we're at a situation where it would be a little bit easier to get in. So I think you got to kind of take a slow walk on that one. All right, so Paycom. This is Nico. Thank you for that. Paycom, Payc. Now, this business used to be dominated by ADP. It's amazing how much they've lost their way. It's amazing how much they've lost their way in the last few years. But Paycom, I think it's based in Oklahoma City, is done very, very well because they include everything, not only the payroll, but they also have the human resources stuff, the compliance, and so it's all pretty good in that area right now. And this is a real good choice, by the way. Even though this is in the computer software enterprise, which is down, it's 126 out of 197 in terms of the sectors. This one is right at the cusp, right at the buy zone. Now, would you buy it here? Well, it looks as if it has just moved above the buy point. So this might be actionable tomorrow. So basically, what I want to do is I'm going to set an alert on this one. Basically, at the buy at the I'm going to set an alert, and this is basically at the buy point. So I'm going to put a little alert there. Right now, we are just slightly below that buy point. We don't really want to buy it until it's powered beyond that buy point. But if you were to buy it above 170, 471 or maybe 472, which where we are right now, maybe a little bit more, maybe 473 or so, then I think you might have a winner because they're looking very good. They had good earnings, and it looks like going forward they're probably going to do very well. So there's no it's 100% checklist on this one. So this is a very good stock, and it's generating some nice income. So I definitely would potentially look at buying this one. I'm currently not buying as much in the computer enterprise space right now, just because of the rotation, and I'm concentrating more right now, at least on the financials and some of the like the some of the construction stocks like Caterpillar, that kind of thing. That's where I've been concentrating. Now, I did put out a spread, and again, I've been backing up on these, but I did do a bull put spread on Caterpillar, and it has pulled back a little bit, but it still did that nice reversal. I want to show you this. It moved nicely, and then it's above that very key 50-day line. So the earnings were excellent for Caterpillar, and even though this is a Dow stock and the Dow is down today, I do think that this is one you could consider possibly. I do see some rotation into this, down a little bit after hours, about 50 cents, well, about 80 cents. So that's one I also think that you could possibly look at as well. All right, is Tesla about ready to back? Wouldn't it be great if Tesla was going to be? I think it's the other way with Tesla. I think Tesla is matured as a stock, and I think it's in a 3 week. It's in a tight pattern. I want to show you that. This is what they call a tight pattern. Now it's not a 3 weeks tight yet. I think it's let's check. Yeah, it's a 2 week tight. So another week and maybe we'll be in a situation where we'll be in a tight pattern. Up a little bit after hours, about 90 cents, not a lot. The key level really is about 720 to about 725. So we're right at a key level, and I do think that if it does break higher than that, then we're likely to see it move higher. As you can see, this is 700. So there's definitely some support right about here. Of course, that's the level. If it can move above this line, and I'm going to do this thing, put an alert on that line. Yeah, I'm going to put an alert on that line because that's where if it moves above that, then I think that we might have. Let's just see if we can set that alert on that line. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put Tesla is breaking out above so what this does basically is just kind of gives us Oops. It would help if I spelled things right, wouldn't it? All right. Breaking. All right, and all I'm doing really here is I am just setting alert. So if it moves above this red line here, I'll get an email alert that it's breaking above that trend line there. And basically that's resistance. And so I don't really think it's breaking out. I really couldn't say that it's breaking out, but if it does continue that, then you might want to take a look at it. But really, I don't think you really want it. You want to see it convincingly move above about 725 before you really would buy that. But it's definitely calmed down. Tesla's a lot easier to trade than it was last year. But of course, last year I did pretty well in Tesla. I think a lot of other people did too. So it's not quite as volatile this year. As a matter of fact, it's not even close to being quite as volatile. Let's look at Boeing. Of course, this is a Dow stock, and for many years, I think this is still true. Boeing was the number one export, is the next number one exporter. The biggest problem that Boeing has, the biggest headwinds that Boeing has that I could see, even though the chart pattern is looking very good, it's a double bottom, and that's a very good chart pattern, is the fact that, going through this COVID thing, we may go through another lockdown, and if that happens, we're looking at another slowdown in the airline industry, and of course, that's where Boeing gets a lot of its revenues. And if we have a slowdown there, then we're not likely to see as many orders. And that's been the situation with Love, which of course is Southwest Airlines. They basically admitted that they're really not going to make any money this year. Can you believe it? For the whole year, they're just going to tread water. So I don't know about Boeing. That said, by the way, I actually shorted Boeing back in the COVID crash, and it was kind of cool. I mean, it went all the way down. I mean, I was able to short it, about this level actually, and all the way down to about 180. I just want to kind of look at that, kind of look at the history. Yeah, there we go. This was the big COVID crash here. See, this is the monthly chart that we're looking at. Big COVID crash, and it went, basically from 300. Now I didn't get it. I didn't short it at 300. It was about 280s where I shorted it, and it came all the way back down. And I was buying it back about 180. I didn't quite go all the way to the bottom, but it's moved up ever since then. Still, this is a stock that should be trading, at 340 plus, and it's not. So would I buy it here? Well, it's got a double bottom pattern, and I'm just very leery about it. We actually had some good earnings, up 44% in terms of the sales, and up 108% of because of the earnings. Now, but the thing about Boeing, and I think you just got to be super careful. There's a lot of competition. And they've failed to execute in the space realm. They have the problem selling aircraft because of the COVID thing with the airlines. So I don't know. I am not psyched on Boeing. I'm just not psyched on Boeing. Also, the aerospace defense sector is not in the top. So I would be very careful about Boeing. I really would. Even though the chart looks fairly good, I just would be very careful. All right, let's take a look at Palantir. This is the one I did buy today. Can you believe it? I actually did buy this after, a long time. I've been hanging out waiting for this thing to reverse, and then finally today it reverses. I get the signal, and I did come into it, and it does look like, it had this huge bump, which is really nice. The earnings per share up 300%. So that indeed is a good thing. As you can see, the sales were up 49%, but the key level, 300% in the earnings. Now, for a growth stock, and this is still losing money, so it's considered a growth stock, it's really the sales that you want to look at, the increases in sales. But if you have a 20% quarter over quarter increase in sales, that's what the street's looking for, and definitely we've had it. I mean, for the last year, 52%, 40%, 49%, and 49%. So this is growing very nicely, and it did do this reversal, and that's what I bought. I bought on the reversal right as it moved above this line here, as you can see. That's where I bought it. So will it hang in the same direction? I certainly hope so, but I can't be sure. So I've pretty much set my stop losses tight. This is where my stop loss is currently for Palantir. It's at 23. I just want to show you that, just so that you'll know. I did buy this one on the breakout with nice volume. And the volume's right there. And of course, earnings per share up. So I definitely think this is actionable here. You don't want to go with a full position though, because it has not really broken out. I mean, it really needs to move. It needs to move above about 2750 really to be out of the. This is about the lowest level that you could buy it at would be right now. So, but I still think it's actionable. Let's see how it trades tomorrow. See how it opens, and but it's looking like it probably, it closed pretty well. It's down a little bit after hours, so if it can hold tomorrow, then I think that you maybe want to go into. I probably would not buy this position if I were doing it right now. I really wouldn't probably wait until Monday to buy this one to see how it trades, because I don't necessarily want to be holding this over the weekend. Because we'd have problems there. All right, Disney. And if you've been watching, I don't know, did I put out the? I guess I did. I put out the Disney trade. By the way, if you are interested and you are on our trade alerts, we put out these. We put out the trade alerts all the time, and all you have to do, if you're watching on the web, just go to www.dallastradingfloor, first and last name and an email address, and we'll get you on the list. Also, if you're looking on TikTok or some of the other platforms, the easy way to do it is just go to my profile, click the link, and the first and last name and an email address, and you'll be good to go on that too. And this is regarding the Disney trade. And I do have the spread trade on Disney, so I'm going to slip over to that screen right now. Here we go, Disney, the Walt Disney Company. And as you can see, we're up nicely. And I do think coming into earnings, this ought to be very nice. Look at this. Look at what's happening. Yeah, we're up strongly. We had good earnings. Okay. Okay, so the spread that I did, was available for everybody, looks like it's going to do very well because it was a bull spread, which is a good thing. So it does look like we're gonna have some very nice earnings on Walt Disney. It looks like with the Disney trade, we're going to make some good little money on this trade. So everybody, also, if you're in the Discord room, I just keep reiterating this, but this is one of the reasons you could just on one trade, you can definitely make back all the money that you would pay on the Discord membership, which is only $30 a month, by the way, just on one trade. And that looks like it's going to happen with this Disney trade. So it's looking pretty nice on this. So they definitely had some great numbers, and after hours, it is just moving up. It'll pull back a little bit, but it looks like we're gonna pop this reversal line, and it does look very good. So I do think that we're going to see some nice. The earnings were very good on Disney. Let's see what the reported earnings were for Disney, no, they haven't yet been reported yet, but it looks as if the response from Disney was very, very good. So that's interesting. So that spread trade probably will have done very well as well. And of course, if you want to get on the Axe Trade Alert, sometimes I put them out on that as well at DallasTradingFloor.com. So thanks for that. All right, let's go to the next question. DraftKings. Do you think DraftKings will finally jump up again? Always trouble. You never know. Thanks, Emmy. DraftKings, DKNG. They bought Caesars. There was a merger between Caesars. They bought DKNG. DraftKings bought Caesars. So, it does. It does look like it's turning the corner. We definitely had a test here. We're moving up. We're still right at the 200-day line. We moved above the 200-day line. So this is a good thing. I definitely have, I had an alert on this one. We've moved above the 200-day line. This is a reversal, but it's a weak reversal. So would I buy it here? Well, let's look at the checklist. The checklist is okay, 67. It's not great, though. I'm a little bit leery right now with DraftKings. I like it, but I just want to see some more strength. I really would like to see it move above some of these intermediate highs here. I'd like to see it move above 56. Then I would be a little bit more inclined. But I think you got to watch this one right now. I think it's a good stock, and I think it's in a good area, but it's still weak in terms of it did come above the 200-day line. I really don't like to buy them off the 200-day line. I just think this is too low. I want to see some more strength. So here's what I would do with DraftKings. Um, Basically, we have to wait. We just have to wait on DraftKings. We have to wait. Let it go a little bit longer. Let's see if it pulls above about 58. So you're gonna want to watch this DraftKings here. It just like it's in the January to March time frame. This was a great stock, and I was playing it. But then we ended up here. We hit the resistance 74 38, and it's been downward since, unfortunately. But it looks as if it's starting to reverse higher. But I just think this is a little bit too early to be in it. So I would watch this one for right now. I just would. That's kind of the way it is. Took options on Apple today. Good for you, Mark. Absolutely fantastic. Apple is definitely moving very, very nicely, and the options are showing that. They're just showing that. So congratulations, congratulations. Thoughts on Open Door? Let me come back to that one. Airbnb, Palantir. I can't believe you bought it. Yeah. Well, I did. I mean, but I was waiting for it to reverse. I mean, I was very negative. I know, Nico. It's strange. I mean, if certain things line up, man, I buy them. I mean, it was pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. I didn't think it was going to reverse. It reversed. It reversed on heavy volume, so that's why I bought it. That's why I bought it. But I could see you getting, being a little bit. I can't believe you bought Palantir. I did. We'll see. I may live to regret that. All right, let's look at JBL. JBL. Let's look for it kind of to see how to size the stop loss. Okay, JBL. Pull that one up, and that's JBL Circuit. And this is a good company, by the way. I think it used to be based in Tampa. Very, very good circuit. It's right in a buy zone. I just want to show you this. Okay, let's pull this up and let's kind of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on a little bit so we can kind of see a little better. So I'm going to hopefully. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully that'll work. There we go. All right. Yeah, well, it did work, but I need to move it. I need to move it somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let me move it over. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move it over. Now we can see it. This is, trying to give you a little bit better view. There we go. All right, so now you can see, and before, I'm trying to get this so that you can actually see this on the screen, but basically the buy point on this one is the little dotted green line. It's at 58.95. It's definitely in the buy zone, and it's pulling back. But this is actually extremely good action. As you can see, this little fuchsia line here. This is the 10-day moving average. It's right on the 10-day moving average. This is a very, very good indicator. The question is, where should you place your stop loss? Well, here's what I would do. I would do it at the 21-day line because you can see the action has all been. Oops, it's coming back. Has all been above that 21-day line from here. So that is an appropriate place to set the stop loss. So hopefully if I can get it in there. Oh, goodness gracious. So where the stop loss should be at about 56. It should be at about 57 right here. It should be about 57. So where I would put my stop loss would be at about 57. So I'm going to back it out here a little bit and see if we can put that stop loss in. Oops, that's not the right one. It wasn't on that one. There we go. All right. All right. So Here's what I would do with Jabal Circuit, and of course I've done it way too, I've zoomed out way too much here. But where you want to put it is you want to put the stop loss right below, basically on that. You want to put it right on the 21-day exponential, and that would be at 58.50. So 58.50 is kind of where you want your stop loss to be. So I'm just gonna put that in there right now, just on an alert. I'm going to put it at 58.50, and of course that is a stop loss. So that's where I would put the stop loss right there, 58.50. I think that's an ideal place for the stop loss. A good stock, by the way, and a good company. So yeah, I mean, I think so. 58.50 is where I would put my stop loss. Be pretty tight on that as well. Yeah, Disney earnings. Okay, well, yeah, if we saw the Disney earnings were tremendous, and yeah, it's moving up very nicely. So let's take another question. I'm going to go way down here, and let's look. Is O viable? Interesting. Okay, well, let's look at O. There we go. It's Overstock, right? No, it's Realty Income Corp. I don't know this company. Huh. Okay. Oh, and of course. Okay, so this is. By the way, I think this is significant with a company like this. Is that there has been, of course, a lot of there has been a lot of movement in the realty, in home selling. But I do think we're going to keep coming to the end of the seller's market relatively quickly. The reason I know this is because I have a property in California that I'm probably going to be selling, and we're starting to see some weakness. So I don't know if this one is going to be good. Now that said, this has a cup with handle formation, and it's in a REIT. Now the REITs have been doing very well because people are looking for stable income because of the bond market. So the REITs have been doing very well. So this one, it doesn't look bad, but I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see the REITs. I want to see if there's something better, and there is. And this is IIPR. Now, normally I'm not interested in any of the marijuana plays, but this is a different case. This is actually a REIT that caters to the marijuana industry. As you can see, it's got a 100% checklist. So if you're looking for a REIT with some income, this might be a good thing. It's also in the buy zone. So I would recommend this over O. I really would, because it's stronger. It's stronger and it's better capitalized. Also, if we go over to the weekly chart, we can see that we've had a very nice, we are basically through earnings, which is very nice, and we have a better chart pattern with this IIPR. This is definitely one that you want to look at. Look at their sales. Their sales were up 100%, basically 101%. Profits up 38%, which for a REIT is very good, because most REITs are not. There's been a lot of interest in the REIT area, but this is probably the best of the best. It's got a relative strength of 90. So if you're looking for cash flow that is not capital appreciation, it's just cash flow, this has a 6% return on equity, very strong considering everything. So I would look at this one, Innovative Industrial Properties, IIPR. That's really kind of what I would look at for for that. I would not probably do O. I'd probably do that. I would do that. All right, let's look at Coinbase. And of course, I haven't been in Coinbase in a while. I was in it right at the IPO. I think I sold it like, I don't know, 30 minutes after it came out or something like that. I wrote it up, and then I pushed my stop loss up, and it pulled back, and I was out with a nice profit, which doesn't always happen that way, believe me. But is Coinbase making a change? Well, let's see. This is called an IPO base here, where it comes out of the gate, it moves up, and then it pulls back as the holders sell into that strength, and then it usually cups up and then it comes back. So I probably would not be interested in buying this until it moves above about 340 based on the weekly chart. That's kind of my view on it, because on a purely technical in purely technical terms, that would be the case. Now that said, look at their earnings. Their earnings were very, very strong. Um, they had, their sales are up over 900, basically 1,000%, and their income was up too. So this is, obviously been incredible, and the return on equity is 25%. Now, of course, this is not a REIT, so this is going to have typically a higher return on equity, but still, this is not looking bad. But would I buy it at this level? Well, I really want to see it move. I really want to see it move above about here. And the reason I do is because, as you can see, when it had great news this morning, it went way up and then it pulled back down right to this resistance. So there's definitely some resistance right about 260. So I want to buy it as it's moving above 260. Would I buy this thing right now? Probably not. I mean, I this is the first day of trading. That's when I was in, and I basically jumped in it, and then it pulled all the way up here. Basically, I got in right about here. It pulled all the way up here, and of course, I moved my stop loss. It pulled back really hard, really fast, and I was out. But would I get into this thing? I would. I want to see some more strength. I want to see it move above about 360. So that's kind of where I want to see it done. O is real estate. It's basically a REIT, a real estate investment trust. That's the reason I was indicating that I think that your better bet is IIPR, which is the innovative industrial properties. That's the one. It's in the REIT category, just like O, but it has a little bit better return and it's a little bit stronger. Tesla is 725 after hours. That's interesting. Well, you might want to consider that, because that's interesting that it did move up after hours like that. Let's go back. Let's revisit Tesla. You might want to put it in order. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, 724. Okay, it's not up a whole lot, but it's moving past that resistance. So yeah, I think it's finally made a turn. Yeah, it's finally made a turn up. Yeah, and it's looking quite good. So it does look like the weekends. It's a little bit low on the volume. I'd like to see more volume here, but you know what? That might be a good way. I mean, I don't think this is gonna rocket to the moon tomorrow, but I definitely think that, yeah, you could start edging in here. Here's what I would do. I wouldn't put in a huge position. I'd try to go start with a half position on this. And what do I mean by a half position? And the thing about Tesla's an expensive stock, so you might only be able to buy a few shares. But the way the positioning works is, if you take the value of your portfolio, let's say you had a $80,000 portfolio, you divide it by 8, and that would give you 8 full positions of 10,000 each. So if you were to go in with a half position, you'd want to go in with $5,000 of value in an $80,000 portfolio, and that will give you the correct sizing. So you want to make sure that you have the right sizing on this. And at $5,000, you're looking at possibly being able to purchase about 8 shares in an $8,000 portfolio. So that's kind of how I would size it. I definitely think you might be able to do that. I know that sounds. You said, Jim, why are you going with so few shares? Well, because the way you do it, if you size it correctly and you size it with these positions, and you set a stop loss at 7% down from where you bought it, your maximum exposure in the portfolio is 1%. So that's the reason I do it. It's to protect against those unfortunate fortunate things that happen like that. Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you for watching the show. Please tell your friends, and also, if you can see your way to it, go to the website www.Dallas Trading Floor, and we have I'm just promoting our mugs. We do have these nice mugs out there. This helps me offset some of the expenses here, but pull that over. Basically, just go to Dallas Trading Floor, and that will bring up. Oh, well, it should bring it up. Well, I guess it didn't. Anyways, um, it should bring up, and I got to figure out why. There's probably something I'm doing wrong. But it'll bring up It'll bring up it'll bring up a little list, and you can go to where the mug is. It's $6.95, and we do have to pay shipping on it. It's about $5, but definitely worth it. It's very nice, and I just kind of want to show it to you here. Yeah, there it is. It is the Dallas Trading Floor mug. So $6.95 for that, and then the shipping is about $5. So great for your coffee in the morning. Anyways, thank you everybody for taking a look again today. I'll be back tomorrow. It's the last day of the week. Hopefully we're going to, sign up for the action trade alerts. I'm going to put out some of the spread trades that I've made. I think the Disney spread trade is looking pretty good. If it holds up, if the numbers hold up, I think we'll be able to make some nice coin there and possibly close that early. I'm hoping for some nice money. So until tomorrow, until 2:30, about 2:30 or so, if I get all the machines working properly. I will see you back here. Happy trading. Thanks for watching. Please tell your friends and consider buying a mug to offset some of my expenses. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.